The Young and the Restless spoilers. Welcome back to our channel, you guys. Today is a beautiful day, but honestly, the vibe in Genoa City right now is anything but beautiful. It is dark, it is messy, and I am sitting here just trying to wrap my head around the absolute chaos that is unfolding on our screens. Grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's just dive right into this because we have a massive, massive situation to talk about today. So, let's just jump right into it. The Young and the Restless is absolutely losing its mind right now, and I am honestly here for it, but I am also completely terrified for these characters. Let's talk about Matt Clark and Phyllis Summers. What an absolute nightmare of a duo. I mean, honestly, what were the writers thinking putting these two together? A few episodes ago, we saw them getting cozy, having a date, and Nick was losing his absolute mind over it. And honestly, I do not blame Nick one bit. But right now, we need to focus on what Matt and Phyllis are actually planning. Because it is sick. It is twisted. But in a weird, messed up soap opera way, it makes total sense for where they are right now. Both of them hate Victor Newman. Like they hate him with a burning, toxic passion that could probably melt steel. And why shouldn't they? Let's be real for a second. Victor has been playing God in Genoa City for decades. He framed Phyllis with that whole AI evidence thing. Remember that? He literally tried to send her to federal prison using fake computer emails just to take over her company. He backed her into a corner where she felt like she had absolutely nothing left to lose. And Matt? Victor locked him up, used him, treated him like a pawn, and moved him onto the Newman Ranch just to keep him under his thumb. So now, these two villains, and yes, I'm calling Phyllis a villain right now, even though I usually love her, have teamed up. They want revenge. They want to make Victor bleed. They want to destroy his world, just like he tried to destroy theirs. And how do you make the great, untouchable Victor Newman bleed? You don't go after his money. He has way too much of it, and he doesn't care about it anyway. You go after his heart, or whatever black, shriveled thing is left of it. You go after Nikki. Let's just pause and talk about Nikki Newman for a second, because my heart is physically breaking for her right now. Last week, we saw the bandages come off her eyes. Melody Thomas Scott gave a performance that should win her every single daytime Emmy in the book. The sheer terror on her face when she realized everything was pitch black. The way she smashed that vanity mirror with her hairbrush. It was devastating. Nikki is at her absolute lowest point ever. She is completely blind. She is vulnerable. She is trying to be brave, counting the stairs by herself, refusing to use a cane, but she is suffering so deeply. And Victor? He's playing the doting, caring husband, getting her blankets and telling her she's safe, but we all know the truth. We all know he secretly stole her Newman Enterprises shares while she was drugged up on pain medication. He's a monster. He really is. But Phyllis and Matt don't care that Nikki is suffering. In fact, they are using it. They see a wounded animal, and they are moving in for the kill. Phyllis wants to kidnap Nikki. Yes, you heard me right. Kidnap. What is she thinking? Honestly, what is going through her head right now? I know Nikki has always looked down on Phyllis. For decades, Nikki has treated Phyllis like absolute trash. Like she was just some gutter rat who wasn't good enough for Nick, wasn't good enough for the Newman family, wasn't good enough for Genoa City. Nikki has always been the high and mighty society queen, judging Phyllis from her high horse, looking down her nose at every mistake Phyllis ever made. And Phyllis has absorbed all that hate for years. She has swallowed that resentment for decades. So now, seeing Nikki weak, seeing her blind and helpless and broken, Phyllis wants to strike. She wants to punish Victor, yes, but she also wants to punish Nikki. She wants to wipe that smug, judgmental look off Nikki's face once and for all. Okay, maybe I'm being too harsh on Phyllis here. She's been pushed to the absolute brink. Victor literally tried to ruin her life and take her freedom. But kidnapping a blind, disabled woman? That is dark. That is so incredibly dark, even for this show. Let's talk about the scene. The way this is going down. It is the dead of night. The Newman Ranch is supposed to be the most secure place on Earth, right? But somehow, Victor's security is always total garbage when the plot needs it to be. So, Phyllis sneaks in, and Nikki is just there, in the dark. But for Nikki, it's always dark now. Imagine how terrifying that is. Imagine being Nikki. Your eyes are useless. You hear a sound, a floorboard creaking, a door opening. You call out, "Victor? Is that you?" But there's no answer. Just the sound of breathing. Quick, shallow breathing. Because Phyllis is standing right there. Phyllis is standing over the woman who made her feel small for 20 years. And then it happens. Phyllis grabs her. The struggle. The absolute horror of it all. Nikki is fighting, but she's weak. She's disoriented. She can't see where the attacks are coming from. Phyllis is fueled by pure, unadulterated rage and adrenaline. She overpowers Nikki. And then, she gags her. She literally forces a gag into Nikki's mouth so she can't scream for Victor. It's brutal. I was reading the spoilers and my jaw just dropped to the floor. I couldn't believe they were actually going there. And then, the trunk. Phyllis drags Nikki out into the night and shoves her into the trunk of a car. A dark, cramped, suffocating trunk. For a woman who is already trapped in the terrifying darkness of her own blindness. It is psychological torture. It really is. And Phyllis slams the trunk shut and drives off into the night. She is driving away with the matriarch of the Newman family stuffed in the back of her car like a piece of discarded luggage. Why? Because she wants Victor to suffer. She wants Victor to wake up, reach over to his side of the bed, and find it empty. She wants him to feel the panic, the absolute loss of control that he has forced on everyone else in this town. She wants him to know what real, raw pain feels like. She wants to break him. But let's be real here. Let's actually think about this for a second. Who actually believes this is going to end well for Phyllis? Victor Newman does not just sit down and cry when he gets attacked. He goes to war. When he finds out Phyllis took his wife, his blind, defenseless wife, he is going to unleash hell on earth. There will be no place for Phyllis to hide. Not in Genoa City, not anywhere. Victor will burn the world down to find her. And what about Matt Clark? Is he just letting Phyllis do the dirty work? Matt is a psychopath. We know this. We have known this for a long time. He's pretending to have amnesia, playing the victim, complaining that the Newmans treat him unfairly, but he is pulling the strings behind the scenes. He probably manipulated Phyllis into doing this. He knows Phyllis is impulsive. He knows she acts on raw emotion and doesn't think about the consequences. So he winds her up, points her at Victor, and lets her explode. If this goes wrong, and it absolutely will go wrong, Matt will just step back and let Phyllis take the fall. He is using her hatred for the Newmans to get his own revenge without getting his hands dirty. It is brilliant, but it is so evil. And wait, let's not forget about Nick. Oh my God, Nick. Nick is already spiraling out of control. He is literally on the edge of a massive drug relapse. He's been taking fentanyl and cocaine, he's having hallucinations, he crashed his car, he's threatening to kill Matt. If Nick finds out that his mother, his beloved sick mother, was kidnapped by his ex-wife Phyllis, and that Matt was involved, Nick is going to snap. He is going to completely lose his mind. We might actually see Nick commit murder. I'm not even joking right now. The writers have been pushing Nick to the dark side for weeks. This could be the exact thing that pushes him over the edge. Sharon is going to be terrified. She is already panicking about Nick's violent threats, And this is going to validate every single one of her fears. I can't even process how messy this is going to get. The whole dynamic of the show is shifting. For years, it was Victor versus Jack, or Victor versus Adam. But now, it's a full-on war with Phyllis and Matt on one side and the entire Newman empire on the other. And Nikki is the collateral damage. She is just a pawn in this sick game of revenge. It's just so tragic. Nikki has survived so much. Alcoholism, multiple sclerosis, crazy villains, being shot, falling downstairs. You name it, Nikki Newman has survived it. But this feels different. Being stripped of her sight, having her company stolen by her own husband, and now being thrown into a car trunk by a woman who has hated her for decades? It's humiliating. It's degrading. And Melody Thomas Scott is going to act the hell out of it, we know that. She is going to make us feel every ounce of Nikki's terror. But it's going to be so hard to watch. I keep second-guessing myself about Phyllis. Like, part of me wants to root for her because Victor is such an arrogant, manipulative jerk. He deserves to be knocked down a peg. He deserves to lose for once in his miserable life. But not like this. Taking a disabled woman hostage is a line you just do not cross. I think Phyllis is going to regret this. I really do. The adrenaline is pumping right now. She's feeling powerful. She's feeling like she's finally taking control of her life after Victor tried to destroy it. But when she opens that trunk and sees a terrified, crying, blind Nikki, will Phyllis have the stomach to go through with whatever sick punishment she has planned? Maybe she will. Maybe she's just that far gone. The fans on social media are already losing their minds over this. I was scrolling through Twitter earlier and people are literally fighting. Half the people are screaming that Phyllis is a monster and needs to be locked up forever, and the other half are cheering because they are so sick of Victor getting away with everything. It's polarizing. It's controversial. And honestly, it's exactly what this show needed to wake us all up. It is giving us the drama we have been begging for. But I'm tired, you guys. I've been staring at this screen for hours, trying to piece together how we got here. How did we get to a point where Phyllis Summers is throwing Nikki Newman into a trunk in the middle of the night? It's wild. The writers are just throwing everything at the wall right now to see what sticks. So what happens next? Victor wakes up. He finds the bed empty. He calls security. He realizes the cameras were tampered with or that someone slipped past the guards. And then he gets the ransom demand or the threat or whatever twisted message Phyllis is going to send him. And the clock starts ticking. If I had to guess, Adam is going to get involved. Adam is already trying to protect Sally from Victor's corporate attacks. But if Nikki is in danger, Adam might have to step up for the family. He might have to put his issues with Victor aside to save his stepmother. And what about Victoria? She has been so distracted lately, getting awfully close to Kyle Abbott and sharing secrets. But when Victoria gets the call, when she hears her mother is gone, the guilt is going to crush her. She's going to feel like she should have been there to protect her. The ripple effects of this kidnapping are going to touch every single family in town. And Diane. Oh my God. Diane Jenkins Abbott is going to love this. Let's be real. Diane hates Nikki just as much as Phyllis does. But Diane is busy dealing with Jack and her own severe paranoia about Dr. Markham coming back to get her. Still, when news breaks that Nikki is missing, you know Diane is going to have a little smirk on her face. Until she realizes that if Phyllis can get away with this, nobody is safe. This storyline is massive. It's dark, it's twisted, it's emotional. It's everything we love and hate about daytime television. I just hope Nikki makes it out okay. I hope she doesn't suffer too much in that trunk. I hope Victor realizes that his own actions, his own arrogance, brought this danger to his doorstep. Because if he hadn't pushed Phyllis into a corner, if he hadn't tried to frame her with AI and destroy her life, she wouldn't be doing this. Victor created this monster. And now the monster has his wife. Okay, I need to take a breath. I'm rambling. I'm just so invested in this, I can't even think straight. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is Phyllis going too far? Is Matt the real mastermind here? What is Victor going to do when he finds out? I'll be back tomorrow with more updates, assuming my brain doesn't explode from all this drama. Stay safe out there, and keep watching.